Hi everybody, it is February 15, 2024. Hope you're all doing well, or decent, or good, however you can be during this fabulous time that we are living. Linty London, Andrew Cruz, Jake M., hello. And Sherry Hughes, thank you very much. Mr. Joe Fullerton, hello. Are you kidding me? I'm so sick of this. Are you sick of my live stream? Or are you sick of life and everything that's happening? Because I am very sick of everything that is happening. I think I do a pretty good job of trying to maintain that frustration that I am feeling always. Anyway, D. Moore, Phil Strange, hello. Kenosis, hello. Kenosis, I feel like there's barely any life in some people in 2024. People's passiveness after all of this stuff going on, and for this lengthy amount of time, is profoundly disturbing. Oh, I am right there with you, Kenosis. You try to talk to some? Forget about it. You get hit with hostility, roll of the eyes, oh, you're so negative. I choose to look at the good. Okie dokie. Yeah. Donna Davidson, hello. John Stuart Mill, hello. Yeah. Remember when people would say, oh my God, did you see the news? Yeah, John. Not too many now. Silent Walk, hello. Mist Feast and Oracle 11. Hello, Mist Feast. Welcome. Hope you can hang on. A whole lot of people say that they need something after my live streams to decompress. Wonder why. Marty Lauderdale, thank you very much. Ray Clay. Laura Larson, Darren James Spencer. Hello, everybody. Elizabeth Rivard, thank you very much. Yeah, people do need to get over themselves. Well, good luck. Not to you, Elizabeth, but in general, yeah. Oh, okay. Thanks. Thank you, Joe Fullerton. It's very upsetting what's happening. Very upsetting. Faith, hello. I'm going to start with explosions and just, wow, man. Let's just say I don't recognize our country anymore. Firefighters confirm the fire is out. What fire, Carol? Oh, okay. No train derailed. Well, that's good. Was there a train derailment? This looks very urban. Was it a subway? Let's just say that there were several loud explosions and smoke that poured from Washington, D.C. train station. Major emergency response underway at the Eastern Market train station.
Well, damn.
Hope you're in shape to run. To run from anything here. An explosion in Wilmington. This is in LA. 9 firefighters injured. That apparently was from a truck hauling gas canisters. Why is this looking like this? Oh, because I didn't pull it all the way down. Okay. And this was the big explosion in LA today.
A truck explosion of some sort in Wilmington. Rich Prickett is in Sky 5 HD over the scene. Rich, we're being told that some firefighters have been injured here.
Yeah, we're hearing as many as 7 patients at this point, is what LA City is classifying as a catastrophic explosion. This all came from a truck that had cylinders which they consider natural gas. Those exploded, injuring several firefighters that were here at the corner of Alameda and Henry Ford. We're not entirely sure what the initial response was and whether or not this was already on fire, but you can see the damage from that explosion here. Again, this was a semi-truck believed to be using natural gas, for fuel. That exploded, injured several firefighters. So it's a large response here on the corner of Alameda and Henry Ford. Just minutes ago, over the radios, we heard as many as 7 firefighters that could be injured here, including anybody that was in the vicinity here.
Anybody that was in the vicinity. So how did that happen? Because I don't see another vehicle. Didn't look like it hit the train. So did it just spontaneously combust? Where is that truck? Oh, well, okay. It's the way of American life now. Fire rips through downtown Bisbee, Arizona. Downtown? Wow. Bisbee is one of the migrant crossing areas. There were a lot of buildings on fire. This is a 5-minute clip. You can check it out if you want. I'll leave the link. Yeah. Fires, explosions. Mass shootings. And an awful lot of violence. DC officers shot serving animal cruelty arrest warrant.
It remains a standoff. The suspect, I just spoke to police about 30 seconds ago. They told me the suspect remains barricaded in that house a few blocks from where we're standing on Hannah Place in the 5000 block, where he has been since before 7 o'clock this morning. Of course, those shots rang out about 7:30 when police were going to that house to execute a arrest warrant for a suspect who has been charged with cruelty to animals. Now, we do not know if the person who they were going to arrest is the same person who opened fire, wounding 3 police officers. A 4th officer was injured, but not by gunfire. Now, to give you an idea of just how dangerous and dramatic this scene was this morning at 7:30, we have some audio from a Nest camera of the gunfire. Take a listen. Now, police...
It's funny, gunfire, I don't find very dramatic. I might have 20 years ago when I was still in my liberal hub, but no, it doesn't do much for me. A whole lot of people still think that all of this is fake. Everything that we see on the news is fake. And, well, I want to say that if that is true, don't think that you're living in a peaceful country, okay? And if it's fake, everything that you see, then you have to wonder, how flippin' sick is this country that we're living in? I don't think so anymore. There were a whole lot that came up years ago that I questioned. I don't question very many anymore because the American people have been so poisoned. The electromagnetic frequencies are causing a whole lot of disruption in individuals in the aggregate. And unfortunately, that disruption very often will manifest in a violent way. The stress that Americans are feeling manifests in a violent way. The chronic stress. And, people who don't know who they are, and that is the majority of our population. That means we're living amongst a whole lot of scary people. Because when you don't know who you are, it's fine when the country is just kind of coasting and, well, we're killing a whole lot of people over there, but I ignore it and I just go on, live my life. Not much happening with the economy. It's decent. People have jobs. They're able to pay their bills. That's fine. You cannot know who you are. But when you don't know who you are, and we're living this time, and a whole lot of people who want to ignore what is happening, they still have it on a subconscious level that something is so not right and that something is bad. They're stressed. So when you don't know who you are and you're experiencing an awful lot of, let's just say, those negative emotions, they very often the individual will regress and pick up those base level behaviors that are immature. It's the kind of behaviors that people, we would call acting out. And now, manifest in violence. That's why it's really important to know who you are so that you can understand how you're feeling, and even if you want to respond in a certain way, you know that it's not the right way to respond, so you don't respond that way. You can maintain. There's not a lot of people. And I've spoken about a whole lot of families. They're out there, the family members are killing one another, murders, suicides. Here, Houston man uses machete to stab and slash mom and sister. And I'm not going to play a whole lot of this because it's rather gruesome for mainstream media.
Just pray they survive through this.
A mother and daughter are in the hospital after being attacked by a man with a machete, but this was not a random attack. It turns out the man swinging the machete is a family member. Good evening, and thank you for joining us at 10. I'm Keith Garvin.
And I'm Candace Burns. Daniela Guzman is off tonight. This all happened just before 10 this morning off Walnut Bend Lane in the West Chase neighborhood of Houston. And that's where we find KPRC2's Gage Golding tonight. Gage, how is the suspect related to the victims?
Yeah, the man stabbed and slashed his own mother and sister, leaving them to bleed out right here on this.
All right, that's all I can take. Yeah, I think I'm beginning to finally reach my threshold of how much I can tolerate. The 15-minute cities in America, oh, they're coming to us. I have posted videos on two cities in Florida that are constructing 15-minute cities, and here, Tempe, Arizona.
This brand new rental community in Tempe has all the amenities: fitness center, dog park, outdoor kitchens, but something's missing.
So there are no cars in this community at all.
Isn't it great?
Cul-de-sac is the first community in the U.S. designed and built specifically for car-free living. Co-founder Ryan Johnson says the demand is strong.
Every generation, and including 92% of Gen Z, would like to pay more to live in a walkable neighborhood.
Retail, restaurants, and to start, nearly 200 apartments, all within steps of each other. No cars means no parking spaces, no garages.
Because we don't have residential parking, it opens us up to have 55% landscape space, and we get to add so much to the neighborhood.
Like social spaces around every corner. The complex is strategically located right next to the area's light rail system. All residents get a free pass. The first 200 also get a free electric e-bike. This brand new rental community in Tempe has all the amenities: fitness center, dog park, outdoor kitchen.
Sounds like fun, huh? Yeah, well, it's a prison. Not a whole lot of people realize that, but it is a prison. No cars? Okay. And you will have to get permission to leave that 15-minute city. Oh boy. You know, all they need to do is read up on Agenda 2030 and see where these sick, evil, psychopathic, quote-unquote elite are bringing us. And they might do something to stop it. 80% of Americans test positive for chemical found in Cheerios, Quaker Oats, that may cause infertility, delayed puberty. Wow. And they're going to continue on with the propaganda of, oh, population explosion. We've had an infertility crisis for decades now. UN, a whole lot of articles about the infertility crisis worldwide, but an infertility crisis here in America. Do you really think a whole lot, 330 million? No, I think our population has been greatly reduced and we are under 300. But they won't tell you that. But really, at this point, considering what we are living, maybe that's a good thing. So eat your Cheerios and your Quaker Oats, because, yeah, what we're living.
So it's about, I'm not really exactly sure what time it is, but my wife is on the phone because this right here is going on. Yeah, you need to not be. So this is still happening. So now we got some cops rolling up here. There's this shit right here. That's some wild business. Anyway, see the wrong motherfucker. They need to come on around here. This is what I'm talking about. This is crazy business right here. I won't let my dog, but oh shit! This right here is the wildest business I've seen in a long ass time. What time is it? They know where they. No. So this is still happening. I'm being rebuked in the name of Jesus. Yo, I'm not sure what happened to this lady. But I'm not sure what happened to this lady. Something gotta happen. My dog is over here bugging out. This is not how I wanted to.
Wow. Is she a sub here? Maybe. We've seen this kind of behavior. I've shown this kind of behavior. There was a migrant that came over the border who was behaving just like that. Drugs, electromagnetic frequencies. Yeah. Well, I hope I never see anybody like that, because that would kind of freak me out. So, good on the protesters. Trudeau, Freeland sued by Freedom Convoy protesters following federal court ruling. These people need to be brought down. The lawsuit comes just weeks after a federal court judge ruled that Trudeau's decision to invoke the Emergencies Act, which gave the government unprecedented power, was a violation of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. On the second anniversary of the federal government illegally invoking war measures against its citizens and targeting key protesters in Ottawa, I can't believe that was 2 years ago. You know, as I read this earlier, I thought, I wish the Freedom Convoy was still going on. It was so flippin' inspiring, you know, and just seeing people dancing and the music and, you know, I mean, it was everything that was opposite of what mainstream media was saying, but it was so wonderful. Even though I'm not Canadian, I loved it. Anyway, second anniversary of illegally invoking war measures against its citizens and targeting key protesters in Ottawa by freezing their bank accounts. Today, Tamara Leach, Chris Barber, Tom Marazzo, Danny Bulford, and other protesters who were targeted by Trudeau and Freeland have filed lawsuits against the federal government. Lawsuits seek $2 million in damages for each plaintiff, and I really hope they get it, because these are sick mother effers. And Tamara, this was yesterday, so I guess it was February 14th. Happy Emergencies Act Day. I hope you all look back and fondly remember how your government shot you with rubber bullets and tear gas for your own good. And she was very inspiring. Is. She's not gone. Yeah. And let's just... Already, I'm ready for a break. This was sent to me by a subscriber whom I'd like to thank.
You help me up? Go boy, fist bumps. Yeah.
Ah, I love the animal kingdom, minus the two-legged. Developing France has passed a new law which will send you to jail for 3 years for criticizing this or that. According to the law, which was passed quietly and secretly through French Parliament on Wednesday, advisement against this or other treatments which are deemed suitable based on current medical knowledge can lead to a 3-year prison sentence and up to a $48,400 fine. Article 4 of the new law, or as some are calling it, Article Pfizer. It's been referred to by freedom fighters as Article Pfizer. Prejudgment of alternative medicine, a threat to whistleblowers. Ominously, during what little debate was fielded before the passage of this fascist law that eliminates informed consent, warnings were parroted that the next pandemic is coming. And that product that hit the market in 2020 is the only solution. There it is. France, criticism of mRNA will be punishable in the future. Okay. the tyranny continues. If you did not see this on my Never Lose Truth channel, you're going to see it now.
We're in big trouble here. I mean, these are two of the most dangerous gangs on the planet. They are prison spawn gangs. They come out of the muck and the slime of these South American prisons, which are their stronghold. They are on the lowest rung of the evolutionary ladder when it comes to organized crime. That means they're all strictly street crime, which is dangerous. They bring with them just mindless, knuckle-dragging violence. They kill with knives and machetes. MS-13 is well established. They're going to be the more dominant of the two gangs. They've been here for quite a while. And as you say, Dana, we knocked them down in late 2000s with just an international effort. But now they're coming back in and they're reestablishing themselves. And that bodes ill for law enforcement across the country. We're going to be living with this crime wave for decades. And I believe that Venezuela is emptying their prisons deliberately and sending these people up here, just like Castro did in the 80s.
All righty. I don't think it's just Venezuela. I think an awful lot of countries are emptying their prisons and sending them forward. Go, live the American dream. Here, illegal crossings have shifted from Texas to Arizona and California. And the largest group of Chinese that this one guy saw since this was, just today.
No, go ahead. 哎，你好，你好，帮我问一下这种衣服能穿吗
Tell me if he has a T-shirt. He needs to put a T-shirt on. Put a T-shirt on.
只能留 T 恤啊。
And do you know, I read this article that I think I have open for the live stream, that one of the quotes is that, well, China is our biggest enemy, and our military is preparing for war with China. Don't you think it's a little odd that if they were our biggest enemy and our military now, I guess a little late in the game, but is preparing for war with China, don't you think that we wouldn't be allowing an awful lot of military-aged Chinese men into the country? But they seem to walk on right on through? Oh, I don't know. Begs questions for sure, right? And this is another group. The hell are we doing?
China. Vietnam. How long traveling? I don't know.
What are we doing? I just find it also very odd that Americans are remaining willfully ignorant or just not caring about this. No, there are, of course, Americans who care. Yeah, we get that. But there's an awful lot, and there's far more that don't. And that's why this will just continue and continue. You know, here, what's happening in the Rio Grande Valley? In broad daylight, smugglers are seen moving bundles of drugs near a school bus stop in Brownsville, Texas. Well, I can't verify that those, boxes, that package was drugs, but maybe it was just, I don't know, supplements from Amazon. Sanctuary Church pays $15,000 bail to free one of the illegal immigrants involved in the Times Square police beating. Wow. Out of everything they could have spent $15,000 on, they spend it to get this guy free? Venezuelan immigrant Yohenry Brito, Good Shepherd Lutheran Church. When asked about his decision, the Reverend said, "Our church is basically a sanctuary." So it's a sanctuary for the migrants who commit crimes? We assume that people are innocent until they are proven otherwise. Wow. Alrighty. So, how do illegal African fake refugees get to the United States border? 99% of them military-age men. Are they emptying their jails? This is in Arizona. $7,000 crossed the border in Arizona just last Saturday. One day. But wow, the Windrush line. Okay. UK. I guess this is along the lines of the woke nonsense. For the first time ever, our 6 London overground lines are each getting a new name and color. Well, Liberty Line, Lioness Line, Mildmay Line, the Suffragette Line, the Weaver Line, and the Windrush Line. This is... It's not just the UK, obviously, but taxpayer money that pays the salaries of people who come up with this crap. But it's not just crap. It's meant to confuse, especially the elderly, and it's just a rewriting of all tradition and values, culture, and a whole new population coming into London. Huh. Well, Knife crime is through the roof. Sadiq Khan, that's the mayor of London, wastes time with a woke rebrand. Look at this. This is on the Windrush line. There is no audio. Thank God. That's a machete. Yep. I don't know. I just think that however much it costs to rewrite the lines, that money could have been better spent.
Get down! Come on! We have to in. Somebody get taser on. No, you don't have to. You don't have to. I'm alright. It's not a
Andy, I'm in the car.
Just face down! I'm facing down. Taser on.
Yeah. Migrant gang rape of child. 13-year-old in Italy prompts CNN to worry about the far right. CNN's main focus was to worry about how the incident, which is just the latest in the string of shocking sexual attacks in the country, might increase political support for the right wing. 13-year-old girl gang raped by 7 illegals from Egypt. I think all of these countries are really emptying their prisons and sending them over. My God. He told me, I think the worst thing about the migrant gang rape thing is it provides fodder for the far right. And I disagreed. You disagree with that? I thought it was the raping that was the worst thing. This is how sick. This is how sick people are. And you don't have to, see something like that woman who was that and say, oh, when Carol says sick, that's what she means? No. The well-adjusted to a profoundly disturbed society. They walk around in suits, they walk around nicely dressed, they hold nice positions, they can pay their bills, they have a nice house. Well-adjusted to a deeply disturbed society. Sick. The CNN piece also highlighted a scathing op-ed in the right-leaning newspaper because it accurately pointed to the fact that mass migration is driving sexual crimes across Europe. How dare that publication state that mass migration is driving sexual crimes? How dare they? Why are these individuals, this is what the publication said, why are these individuals without any requirement to access international protection still in Italy and have not been subject to expulsion? Well, why do we allow these migrants who commit crimes remain in the United States? Why aren't they being deported? See, every American should really be questioning what's going on. Why were those Venezuelan migrants who beat up the cops in New York City released without bail immediately? Why? Even just getting people to ask why seems to be a real hardship now. Elderly couple told they had to sell house to asylum seekers. Now, I was posting on this yesterday, But councils, this is in the UK, okay. This is compulsory purchasing empty properties to meet a surge in the number of asylum seekers being granted leave to remain in the UK. Now, the UK has a housing crisis. There are apparently, I think the stat is 1.2 million who are needing homes. Those UKers, the residents, okay, in Britain, we're housing the migrants. That's what we care about. And wouldn't it be lovely if we could get adults to grow up and do a little bit of research? Maybe read some of those documents that we've been posting over the years. More documents that just came out. United Nations, that's the umbrella organization that is trafficking an awful lot of people from all over the world into Western countries to destroy them. It's very obvious now. Very obvious. Migrants get everything. Citizens get nothing. Get used to it. Because it's not going to get any better. The letter that was sent out by the council, the letter said the council was seeing a considerable increase in positive immigration decisions being made in favor of asylum seekers, mainly single men, and the authority was struggling to source suitable accommodation for them. Yeah. So, the ideal solution is to provide accommodation by using empty properties which would benefit owners and the project. It said the council could make a compulsory purchase order on the property. Compulsory means you got to pay. You got to give it up. You have to give it up. So the Saunders, this was a couple that got a letter. They're still baffled by the policy itself. Now, they should not have received the letter because it's not an empty house. And they were rather baffled by that, but they're also baffled by this whole policy. Hey, what on earth is the council doing, forcing people to sell their houses, and even an empty house is owned by someone, and so that asylum seekers can live in them? The answer to this is to stop them coming in the first place, not to force people out of their homes. Hey! Wow! We got somebody with a working brain cell. Let's celebrate. My God. Well, yeah, it is just a definite happening. I mean, more and more people are going to be forced to sell their homes, and eventually, at some point, people are just going to be, get out of your home. We're evicting you. We're government. This is a tyranny now, and we need that house for a migrant. Don't be surprised if that comes to pass.
In granting asylum to a man who'd been convicted twice of sexual offences. So everyone has to put their house in order. Yes, of course, there's a whole industry of fake conversions. I was a BBC presenter once about 20 years ago, and I remember arguing on the case of an Iraqi woman who had become a Christian. And it was precisely the language she used about her relationship with Jesus, which had so liberated her and changed her overnight, that I found so convincing. The question is, would she continue to live as a Christian? One of the failures in the churches at the moment, particularly in Anglicanism, is there's no continued oversight. At least as a Catholic, you're required to go to Mass every week, or else you've broken the whole contract, if you like. But you're absolutely right. There is a form of progressive Christianity in this country. I don't think it's about supporting dwindling congregations, or they would be in constant touch with the converts. I think it's more about exercising a degree of shallow and indeed fake compassion to people for whom the act is a political one, not a sincere one.
Well, that's interesting.
So apparently people are allowed to stay in the UK, making it easier for them to stay in the UK if they say they've converted to Christianity. And that guy that you just saw up on the screen, that's what he did. They allowed him to stay. And another sexual assault. This guy is very violent. I can't remember exactly what he had done. But
A shadow in a
yeah, I think he had stabbed a mother and a child or two children. I can't remember. Sorry. But it's up there. It's bad. So this is France. Yeah, I mean, okay. I can't keep saying the same old, same old. I'm telling you, I really do think that you need to do the best that you can for what we are seeing right now. This is going to explode on a level that I don't think a lot, even the awake crowd, can imagine and are prepared for. But I'm just going to play a few minutes of this 10-minute video and I'll link below to it. But, you know, just a reminder, because there will be another pandemic, and what we have seen, what we've already experienced, you should do a little review every now and then, because these reviews really show the tyranny that had already been developed. So think about what could happen next.
You must stay at home. If you don't follow the rules, the police will have the powers to enforce them.
The Prime Minister has announced the most drastic limits to our lives that the UK has ever seen in living memory.
Stay at home and stay at least 2 meters away from people.
We have got to put in place the public health surveillance, the isolation, the quarantine, the case finding, the detection. We have got to be able to show that we can go after the virus.
What's your estimate for us being able to give someone we just met a hug?
Well, I wouldn't recommend it. Really, to get to the point where this is totally sorted is when we have a treatment or a vaccine.
The ultimate solution is a highly effective, safe vaccine, but there will be a trade-off. We'll have less safety testing than we typically would have. And so governments will have to decide, you know, do they indemnify the companies and really say, let's go out with this?
This paper was prepared by SAGE's behavioral science subgroup. The perceived level of personal threat needs to be increased amongst those who are complacent, using hard-hitting emotional messaging.
I'm struggling to see how this is not a direct psychological attack on everybody in this country.
It is, Mike. This is the British government using applied behavioral psychology to...
Oh, there's only so much. It's YouTube. Remember? YouTube? Yeah. The link is in the chat. It's a well worth review of how many people capitulated so fast, and a whole lot of people think that, well, they won't capitulate now. They won't for the next No, they will. An awful lot who know the truth will, because they're scared little puppies, and when they get directives from mommy and daddy, they bow down. Traumatized children is what we have. And again, I just want to say, good on you, Brits, doing an awful lot of the ULIS. Here in Britain, the mayor of London charges people who don't have the right car. $12.50 pence, whatever, per day to leave their driveway. Another green scam. Needless to say, the locals aren't overly keen on it.
Oh dear, ladies and gentlemen, look at this. Look at this, we've had reports. I thought I'd better get down here before the cleaning crew. But yeah, work to do. They got all four sides this time by the looks of things. Look at that card. Have it. Welcome to Hillingdon, folks. Welcome to Hillingdon. Look at this. This is a scam. Telling the people. Let's get up and see if they touch the other side. See if that's been redone as well. We just got here. Arrived on scene. Oh, it's got it all round, folks, all round. Have it. This is the new Welcome to Hillingdon van. Have some of that card, you little rat. Come on. Let's have a look at the back. This is a different spray paint, guy. Because look, it's different spray paint, folks. So yeah, welcome to the van. Welcome to the jungle in Hillingdon, Mr. Khan. Yeah, you ain't getting nothing round here, Khan. You ain't getting nothing, mate. We don't like you. You're not welcome. You've even touched that. Whoever owns this van should be suing Mr. Khan and the lot for touching their van. Never mind the graffiti artists, you're not going to catch them, but we know who cleaned it, didn't we? And made even more mess than the original spray painters. So yeah, have some of that. Work to do, you little rats. You like cleaning vans? The boys at Hillingdon will get your vans to clean as well as cameras then, boys. We'll get your vans to clean, not a problem. This is a scam, people. This is a scam.
And it is that. We got it in New York City. Outrage in Spain. Good. So in the live stream last night, showed a little bit of this parade, which was a parade of pedophilia. Oh, as children paraded around in lingerie for pride. Well, people in Spain outraged as footage has emerged. Children aged 9 and younger being paraded around the street wearing burlesque-style lingerie, nipple shields, and wigs with the rainbow pride flags attached to their backs. I can't watch this again. It's so unbelievably upsetting. Progressivism, they call it. It is so in our face, the abuse of children. And that's how sick an awful lot of Western adult people are. That this would not have been allowed 30 years ago, 20 years ago, perhaps even 10 years ago. Now it's in our face. What happened? The outrage has to be really out there, really loud. And I posted the videos of King Randall here on the live stream yesterday. And he has an organization where he takes children and teaches them things. But you heard in the video that I played, he was teaching them how to plaster holes in a wall, how to change an electrical outlet, and he has such a this man I have profound respect for. So a lot of people were upset, apparently, in the video that you heard last night. The kids were saying, after he would say something, and all of the kids would say, "Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir." So apparently he got a lot of backlash.
There's been a lot of fuss on my social media pages about the students saying, "Yes, sir." And I don't think people are understanding why we have them say yes, sir, and say it so often. I don't think many of you actually work with children. If you work with young boys today in 2024, most of these boys are very, very, very soft-spoken. They barely speak when you speak to them. They don't say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Like, they don't give the proper greeting of the day at all. They ignore you when you're talking to them. They're nodding their heads and all that number. They want to, finger grip you when you're trying to shake their hand and, grab you with those fingertips. And, I make them say yes, sir, for a reason. The reason being is that it's teaching them to respond to something when somebody's talking to you. It's a routine that I'm building in responding when somebody's talking to you. We also make them say the proper greeting of the day. When they come in the room, when they come in our building, they have to say good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever the proper greeting of the day is to everybody that's in the room. They're also required to shake our hands when they walk in the room. It's building a routine of making your presence known when you first come into any place. That's very important for our boys because they're not understanding that nowadays. And also teaching them again to respond. Many of these kids, you're talking to them, they're shaking their head and nodding their head. They're not looking at you while they're talking. And for those of you who keep saying, oh, yes, sir, it's slave mentality. Actually, you were also taught not to look at somebody in their face. You were taught not to speak loudly to your slave master, etc. So me telling them to look somebody in their face, project their voice, act like they know who they are is actually teaching them against being a slave, because being a slave is somebody who cowers down and scared to speak and won't shake their hand and afraid to look somebody in their eye. That's what a slave is. So when I'm telling the kids to say yes, sir, it's not for me or me being egotistical. It's me building a routine in those students. So routines build habits, habits build character, and character makes the man. That's why we make them say yes, sir, and make them say it loudly. It's to learn to project their voice and actually respond when somebody's talking to you, because so many boys nowadays actually don't talk back to you. They don't say anything. They're nodding their heads. They don't know how to shake hands, and they don't know how to get a proper greeting of the day. Please understand why we do that, and know that students are never going to stop saying yes, sir. So get over it or unfollow. Thanks so much.
I like him. I like him. I like him. Inspired Idiot of the Week, the American Psychological Association. I think they could get the Inspired Idiot of the Century. Can selecting the most qualified candidate be unfair? Asked researchers in a recent study published by the American Psychological Association. The short answer, according to the new science, is a resounding yes. Yes, hiring the most qualified people based purely on their merit and talent is unfair. They don't actually discuss why. They just take it as a well-known fact that merit-based hiring is bad, while diversity and inclusion hiring is good. Don't you love our science today? Now, you can't claim that anything in the field of psychology is science. Okay, but this is where we're going. Okay? This is where we are going. And considering the abject, tragic education that is being dumped on the younger generations, each generation just got worse and worse and worse. This is what happens. Now, I'm not saying that these researchers are a young generation. All I'm saying is this is the prep. You know, this is the prep for the younger generations being put on a track to literally disregard talent, disregard merit, you know, I guess I had an expectation that people weren't, the adults in our country, that there were some adults, and that they were responsible adults, and they could see that we're not on a good track here, you know, several decades ago maybe, and might have done something about it. But no. So the global deep state, a fascist world order funded by the American taxpayer. And I will link below, this is Jonathan Whitehead, his commentary, and his commentaries are filled with an awful lot of very important information. The United States still spends more on foreign aid than any other nation. More than 150 countries around the world receive U.S. taxpayer-funded assistance. Whether or not that some of that foreign aid is used for legitimate purposes, the global welfare system itself is riddled with corruption and waste. Do taxpayers instinctively know that they are funding choir directors in Turkmenistan, filmmakers in Peru, aid for poultry farmers in Tanzania, and sex education workshops for prostitutes in Ethiopia? Oh, and I've posted videos, and a whole lot of people have posted videos on the abject absurdity, if that can actually describe the foreign aid. Hell, we even give foreign aid for countries to protect their borders. Yeah. So the problem is not so much that taxpayers are unaware of how their hard-earned dollars are being spent. Rather, we the people continue to be told that we have no say in the matter. That is the dance between government officials and we the people. We've allowed this. Now, they don't even care. They wouldn't even care if we started screaming. Financial tyranny persists whether it's a Democrat or Republican at the helm. And we've got so many awake who are rah-rah Trump, and I don't get it. I do not get it. George Soros is poised to take control of the nation's second largest chain of radio stations. And this is scary. Well, whether he does or not, there's such tight control. And yes, the tight control comes pretty much from the left. Odyssey. He's going to be bailing out and buying Odyssey, the #2 U.S. radio broadcaster behind iHeartMedia, with stations including New York's WFAN and 1010 Winds. I used to listen to 1010 Winds. As well as Los Angeles-based K-Rock. I guess they're going to be really pushing Biden. Oh my God. And there's no controls, by the way. You do see that now, right? The billionaires get to do whatever the hell they want to do. Monopolies that used to be broken up, no longer. We're not a country ruled by law anymore. We're a country ruled by the billionaires. U.S. manufacturing output plunged in January. What? I thought the economy was doing beautifully. We're not making anything. We don't make anything anymore. Here, sales, retail sales plunged in January. Is that because we don't have any products to sell? Because manufacturing has been pretty much decimated in our country? No, it's because the American people don't have money. Ford CEO says company will rethink where it builds vehicles after last year's auto worker strike. Yeah, so the strike, the auto workers negotiated a deal with the auto industry, Ford being one of them. Right after that, they had massive layoffs. And now Ford CEO is going to punish all the workers by rethinking where. Maybe go to Mexico because it's a lot cheaper. You can't do anything anymore without being punished. The layoffs. 100 from GrafTech. 838 from Strategic Financial Solutions. Crane Stationery, 75 to 80. And Catalent, 300. Morgan Stanley, 300. Cisco, 4,250. These are big numbers. Continental AG, 7,150. We are, oh my God. Paramount Global, 800. BlackBerry, 200. Cirrus, 160. And Ascente Health Systems, 180. Pure Storage, 275. I think I covered this in other live streams. Grammarly, 230. The numbers are huge. Hershey's, 900. Navient, 945. Bell Canada, 4,800. And I'm just going with the high numbers and not the percentages. But a whole lot have been talking about March. And this is how they talk about March. Massive layoffs coming in March. Okay, we're already having massive layoffs. We've been having massive layoffs, certainly for the last 2 years. What? And these are the people who know it. So, what is it going to look like in March? And I sure hope a whole lot of you have jobs that are secure, because a whole lot are experiencing this, and more are going to be experiencing it. And yes, the quote-unquote awake crowd are experiencing it. California's ban on plastic shopping bags has backfired. Oh, yes. Why? Back in 2014, California banned thin, disposable plastic shopping bags. They only allowed thicker, reusable plastic bags. The problem? People still threw away the thicker bags. Now the weight of plastic bags being thrown away has increased by 30%. As a result, the state now wants to ban all plastic bags completely. Okay, oh man. So, you'll never believe what... We are so saturated in narcissists, in liars, psychopaths. Elizabeth Warren, this is unbelievable. She has been vilifying Bitcoin forever. What did she do on the 15th anniversary of Bitcoin's launch? She put up a commemorative flag flown over the United States Capitol. All right. They're saying it's not the Onion, it's not Babylon Bee, it's not the 1st of April. Could she have done this, really, after years of vilifying Bitcoin as money for criminals, terrorists, and climate change deniers? She honored the founder, who was anonymous, I guess, for a while, but I guess is no longer, Satoshi Nakamoto. Bitcoins magazine's Mark Goodwin reports that in an unexpected turn of events, Elizabeth Warren, the longtime adversary of Bitcoin on Capitol Hill, has seen the orange-tinted light and quite literally raised a flag to praise the work of Bitcoin. Do Americans not get how unbelievably warped are these people? That they just keep going back and forth. They have no principles. They do whatever will get them either more attention, more money, selling out the American people, the hypocrisy, the lying, the flip-flopping. So the reasons, they have some reasons here. And a whole lot of people writing, this matrix is getting weirder. This has to be fake news. Am I missing something here? Alright, so some reasons given, and I think it's the third reason. Uber liberal globalist donor Larry Fink tapped her gently on the shoulder about how much money can be made from that stuff. Polls suggested she's on the wrong side of history. Do you really think that woman cares? No. But this could be it. CBDCs are imminent, and somehow bad-mouthing this blockchain-backed asset does not align with the centralized power and the control that a digital dollar would give her and her pals. I think it's number 3. Door number 3. What's my prize? JP Morgan pulls out of a $68 trillion climate action 100 plus group. The ESG, the green investing, is really dying now. But does that mean that they won't continue their policies on the green, and they're going to be enforcing these policies against the people? Yeah, absolutely. Yesterday's hysteria-inducing intelligence on scary new Russian space weapon quickly downgraded. All of the major news networks paused their coverage of literally everything else to turn their focus through the whole afternoon to the major, imminent, grave, terrifying security threat and fire alarm based on apparent U.S. intelligence related to the Russians, and reports that they possess new space defense technology, which is possibly even nuke-related. Oh, I'm so scared.
House members, and his subsequent post on social media about a national security threat has prompted a lot of questions. While I am limited by how much I can share about the specific nature of the threat, I can confirm that it is related to an anti-satellite capability that Russia is developing. I want to be clear about a couple of things right off the bat. First, this is not an active capability that's been deployed. And though Russia's pursuit of this particular capability is troubling, there is no immediate threat to anyone's safety. We are not talking about a weapon that can be used to attack human beings or cause physical destruction here on Earth. That said, we've been closely monitoring this Russian activity, and we will continue to take it very seriously. President Biden has been kept fully informed and regularly informed by his national security team, including...
These people now, they just seem like caricatures of their own self when I listen to them. They're lying scumbags. Norway warns Russia is in a stronger position now than a year ago. Weren't we supposed to be weakening Russia? The head of Norway's military intelligence unit said, in this war, Russia is currently in a stronger position than it was a year ago, and is in the process of gaining the advantage. Russia could mobilize around 3 times more troops than Ukraine. Nearly 2 years ago, Washington and its NATO partners agreed to back Ukraine in a proxy war to weaken Russia. However, it is Ukraine now that's on the brink of defeat. Kiev has depleted its weapons stockpiles, including 155mm artillery rounds, and air defense interceptors. Future arms delivered to Ukraine are in question as a $61 billion war funding package for Kiev remains stalled in Congress. Even if the House passes the bill, funding the war in Ukraine, Kiev faces other challenges. Okay. Do Americans not know that we lose every war? Do they not know what this is about? It's really frightening that so many could be so lost in the propaganda. But look, I'm talking about people who've been around for a while. I'm not talking about the young. I'm talking, baby boomers. Hello? Are you still functioning at all? Do you have a brain cell working? We have listened to the lies all our life. And a whole lot continue to listen to them. It truly is just unbelievable. But hey, Air Force, Space Force announced major overhaul to prepare for war with China. Russia, China. Okay. We are out of time, Kendall said. Kendall. Air Force Secretary Frank Kendall. We're out of time. Why do I say that? It's not that I enjoy sounding like a broken record. It's because, for at least 2 decades, China has been building a military that is designed, purpose-built to deter and defeat the United States if we intervene in the Western Pacific. Well, don't intervene. All right, we have to protect Taiwan. Taiwan's not a NATO partner, but hey. And let's have all of those military-age Chinese men coming across the border. No problem. Yeah. While the U.S. is focused on the proxy war in Ukraine and supporting the Israeli slaughter of Palestinians in Gaza, the Pentagon still considers China the top threat. U.S. military officials are preparing for a future direct confrontation with China, despite the risk of it escalating into a nuclear war. They'll be protected. They don't care about us. More attacks on Red Sea vessels as U.S. coalition pounds Houthi-held port city. War, and it's spreading. Israel kills elite Hezbollah commander, but unleashes single deadliest day for lesbian Lebanese civilians. Okay, it's expanding. More civilians die. People who don't want the war have to suffer the consequences. U.S. opens probe into U.S.-supplied weapons and possible Israeli war crimes. Really? 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 Come on. You're joking. The probe might last a day, and then they'll come out with the report. No war crime. When it's so obvious. It's interesting. You got a probe? You got to probe, you intelligence officers? It's not hard to see. All you have to do is go on Twitter. Hamas only has 20,000 members. So why has Israel completely destroyed the homes of 2 million citizens, every hospital, school, university, and refugee camp?
لا تبالي يا غزة وتحلي بالعزة
A 6-year-old girl. So, oh boy. The reporter asks the Israeli ambassador about a 6-year-old girl and her family and the paramedics sent to rescue her, whether the IDF killing all of them was a war crime.
6-year-old girl who was found dead at the weekend, Hind Rajab, and she was in a car with her family. They were fleeing Gaza City, and she was on the phone. She was the last surviving member of her family in the car. She was on the phone to emergency services. The Red Crescent sent an ambulance out to her. At the weekend, that girl was found dead in the car, as were the paramedics. Does that constitute a war crime?
I heard about this tragic case. I don't know what exactly happened there, but we've seen how Hamas take over ambulances. We've seen how they embed themselves in the hospital.
So is it okay to strike an ambulance then if that's what happened?
Well, according to international law, when on that ambulance there are terrorists, or if they're on the way to perform an attack, again...
Well, they were on the way to rescue the 6-year-old girl.
We don't have all the information. And what
she was reported in a conversation.
Again, we don't know all of the information. What I ask you, I understand the criticism against Israel. I acknowledge that. But every time you criticize Israel, ask, why are we in this situation? This tragic war, this tragic reality that the people in Gaza are living under. Why are they living like this? Who is responsible for that?
You. That's who's responsible. You. The Zionist government. That's who's responsible. Boy, there are times when I just so want to curse. The Red Crescent has published a recording of one of the latest phone calls with the 6-year-old Hind Rajab.
أيك طيب نحكي بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم.
So, the Red Crescent ambulance comes, and then they kill the girl and the paramedics. Okay. Let's talk about the idea that Israel keeps the Jews safe, brought to you by Katie, the beautiful Jewish girl.
Let's talk about the idea that Israel keeps Jews safe. No, really, I want to talk about it. Every time Israel behaves as a thug, a bully, an aggressor, global anti-Semitism catapults. Let's imagine Israel as a bully for a second, and it's not going to take that much cognitive work. Just imagine a really big, kind of beefy guy, maybe your regular IOF soldier, walking around a playground. And as he's walking around the playground, he's saying, I represent all Jews. I am Jews and Jews are me. We are Jews and Jews are me. I am the representative for all Jews everywhere. I am Jews. When you think of me, think of Jews. When you think of Jews, think of me. And then he walks over to a kid on the playground who is constantly being picked on and punches him in the face. And sure, other people pick on that kid, but they don't punch him in the face. And so while he's beating up on this poor kid who is not very well loved, he is whistling a jaunty tune saying, I am Jews and Jews are me and Jews are me and Jews are we and I am Jews. And because that is all people are hearing from him, as he beats up on this kid, they start to think, God, this is what Jews are like. And another Jew walks onto the playground and doesn't beat up by that kid, and everyone assumes, hey buddy, hey pal, that's what Jews are like. You're like this guy that just beat up on this kid. And Jews who are not supportive of the beating up on the kid have to be like, no, that guy does not represent us. He's not me and I'm not him. But big beefy bully guy who's still beating up on this little kid is going, Jews are me and Jews are we and I am Jews. It is so goddamn annoying. It is so fucking annoying. to every Jew who is not beating up on that innocent kid. You think the other Jews on the playground are safer? Maybe this bully starts to kick the other kids in the shins. Maybe he decides to fling a yo-yo at their faces. And I'm aware that this is infantilizing very real embodied felt violence, and I'm sorry, but I'm trying to get this metaphor to land to people who are not listening. Eventually, people are going to rise up against this bully. Eventually, this bully will have broken enough femurs, will have scraped enough knees, will have bruised and broken enough faces, will have smashed enough teeth that people will be fucking fed up by their behavior. And as they become fed up with the bully's behavior, and they don't want to take that treatment from the bully, it's kind of hard to beat up on the big beefy guy who's currently kicking a kid in the corner. So instead, they turn to the people that guy purports to represent, and those are the Jews. And they say, you're in league with this guy. You're in a team with this guy. We can't pick on him, but we can pick on you. And thus, global anti-Semitism catapults every time Israel behaves as an aggressor. I don't want to share a playground with that guy. That guy does not represent me. I have no interest in being associated with the guy who is beating up the kid in the corner. It does not make me any safer, because he might be a frightening target, but I am not. And so when fury at him boils over, as it should, because his behavior is inexcusable, it boils over onto me and other Jews on the playground. He doesn't keep me safe. He puts me at risk. He puts everyone on the playground at risk. I really had to make this like an accessible metaphor, but I hope that it landed. Nobody who is kicking someone, who is curled up and crying and begging for relief and exhausted and bruised and bleeding and battered on the floor, no one who is kicking that person represents me or my people. And how dare they claim to do so? As always, free Palestine, free the West Bank, free Gaza, end the genocide, end the occupation, end the apartheid, end the bombardment. Hold Israel accountable for its brutal, horrific human rights record. A human rights record that is at this point a punchline to a joke. And please don't assume that all Jews are Zionists. That guy is not one of us. I have to be like,
well spoken. Well spoken. The only thing that I would have added is on the playground with the bully and the Jews who are not represented by that guy, and they voice it, that bully turns on them. That bully turns on them. It is a very, very, very sad and horrifying time that we are living, because we have an awful lot of people who are not really thinking very properly. Yeah. A 102-year-old philosopher, Edgar Morin, one of France's most revered intellectual figures, as well as a Jewish World War II resistant fighter who fought as a lieutenant in de Gaulle's France, combatant in a unit. This is what he had said. He's right here. I don't know French.
Je suis à la fois ahuri et indigné par le fait que ceux qui représentent les descendants d'un peuple qui a été persécuté pendant des siècles.
Translated. These are his words. I am both astonished and outraged by the fact that those who represent the descendants of a people who were persecuted for centuries for religious or racial reasons, that the descendants of these people, who are today the decision makers of the state of Israel, that they could not only colonize an entire people, partly drive them out of their land, and seek to expel them for good, but also, after the massacre of October 7, engage in a real massive slaughter on the populations of Gaza and continue incessantly hitting civilians, women, and children. And to see the silence of the world, the silence of the United States, protectors of Israel, the silence of the Arab states, the silence of the European states, who claim to be defenders of culture, humanity, human rights. I think we are living through a horrible tragedy because we are also powerless in the face of this thing that is unleashing. At least I say, bear witness. The only thing that remains, if we cannot resist concretely, is to testify. Let's resist in our minds. Let's not be fooled. Let's not forget. Let's have the courage to face things head on. Don't you wish that those words were spoken on a megaphone or a mic that the world could hear? Especially as Israelis who support this. And here, powerful speech in Canadian Parliament today.
Mr. Speaker, as Netanyahu bombs Rafah, the supposed safe zone, over 75 Palestinians were killed overnight. We are witnessing a crime of unproportionate horror in Gaza every day. Children are left orphaned as entire families are wiped out in this onslaught. Meanwhile, the Liberals continue to arm Netanyahu over $28 million worth of military exports since October alone. How many more Palestinian children have to be killed for this government to end arms exports to Israel?
Oh boy, how do we get this thing stopped? How do we get anything stopped, right? A professor, an anti-Zionist Jewish academic,
of the Zionist project and a new Palestine where Jews... What we want, of course, is not a ceasefire. A ceasefire is nothing, because a ceasefire, it means that the fire will start again. No, we want the end of the Zionist project and a new Palestine where Jews, Christians, and Muslims can live like they did in Al-Andalus, like they lived in Palestine, like they lived in the Ottoman Empire, like they lived in South Africa, like they lived under the Mughals, like they lived in most of North Africa and the Middle East, without genocide, without anti-Semitism or Islamophobia, without pogroms, without Holocaust. They lived together. And I think that's what we want. And I think that's what we will get. So I think the stakes are very high here. This is not just for Palestine that we're fighting, but we're fighting for a new Middle East, the end of Islamophobia as a policy and as an action by the West, the end of apartheid in Palestine, and for a kind of convivencia, living together like we always did in the Middle East.
But it's a whole new time with an awful lot of people who are not willing to cave, not willing to compromise, and not willing to re-examine their beliefs. If Jews and Muslims lived together once, they could do it again. But he's absolutely right. The Zionist project must come to an end. To an end. Yeah, we have an awful lot of people who have that thinking here too. Impossible to live with Mohammedans that want to kill you. No, not every Mohammedan wants to kill you. Well, Bibi is no different than Biden. The Zionist government is no different from the U.S. government. And look, they want to kill all of us. I'm not talking about compromising with our New World Order leaders. There is no compromise. The individuals need to do it. So, that's not what you said. I read your comment. Impossible to live with Mohammedans that want to kill you. What do you mean that's not what you said? I'm reading your words verbatim. Israeli rappers call for the killing of Muslim celebrities. Yeah, it's... 2 Israeli rappers have called for the murder of Muslim celebrities. See, this is so not the world that I want to be living in, and I want to live amongst people like this. You know? Well, the governments are definitely behind all of this. But there's an awful lot of people that believe what their government officials are saying. And that's the problem. So, I sure wish every single day that I would just, wake up one day and see some movement forward in a good direction. But I don't. I thought I had more animal videos for you. Hell, I can just go on Twitter and see what's up. Let's go on Twitter just for a few minutes and see what's up. Chimp helping a guy. Yeah. France's real fascist. Mike Pompeo's dance partner.
I'm trying to eat my popsicle. This is crazy! This is not normal what's going on! But guys, we are gonna win!
See, the worst of the worst get honored. The psychopaths get honored. Oh my God. The murderers get honored. And this is Mike Pompeo dancing with them. We're no different. God. Sickening. What? 882 private jets left Vegas after the Super Bowl. And of course, same people who own these jets scold you about driving a car. Another one caught wanting to rape a 12-year-old British girl, but stopped and caught by citizens.
How old was the girl you was coming to meet? She was 12 years old, she wasn't 13. Where are you from? No, where are you originally from? Bangladesh. How long have you been in this country?
3 years.
3 years, and you're already trying to rape a child.
No child, just
we have let loose. We have just let loose. All of our Western countries have let loose I don't even know what to call it. Hell. We've let loose hell. Oh, this is a commercial apparently.
We get all the sandwich stuff for the kids' lunch. They don't like turkey anymore.
Yeah, I know.
What about the bananas?
Yeah, I got them too. But, honey,
What?
you're gonna have to put those eggs back.
They don't like eggs anymore?
No, they like eggs, but we have to set that $7 aside for killing Palestinians.
What? I mean, don't we give Israel $4 billion a year anyways?
Yeah, and now we're giving them another $14 billion. Do you know how much that is per American taxpayer?
No.
It's like $85 per person. Apparently, it's costing us a lot of money to drop bombs on Gaza.
It's terrible. Yeah. Don't they get universal health care too?
Yeah, they do. We're paying for that too, probably. Might as well put the bananas back.
Why the do we have to pay for all of this?
Don't cuss at me.
I'm Cenk Uygur, and I approve this message. Let's save lives.
Cenk Uygur. Wow. Oh. "23-year-old YouTube influencer Too Mad with 2 million followers found dead." Well, probably sudden. All right, guys. Where are all the animal videos? I could have sworn I had more for you, so I apologize. Paris, horrifying footage. Invaders throw a native woman off the bus. They wanted her seat.
Elle m'a craché dessus. Sors, voilà. Gros, bien fait, bien fait, bien fait. Bien fait, bien fait, bien fait. Elle m'a craché dessus.
That's quite right, Phil. If people got paid to wake up, they would. Money, 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 money. Money. It's money. Chinese coming across the border. The Israeli army just... they're snipers killing anyone. I could have sworn. I'm sorry, guys. There you go. At least one belly rub before we end this live. The entire world is watching. An evil that we have never seen like this before. Oh, we had evil going on in Iraq. We've got evil going on all over the world. Our American troops in Iraq were just like the IDF. But now we get to see it. Now we get to see it. And still, most don't really care. There is a genocide going on in the Congo, Democratic Republic of the Congo, and everyone is very silent about that. And the UK will become a democratic Islamic state, says Muslims in the UK. Alrighty, you guys, bring your best self to life, please. Yeah, help those in your community. Extend yourself. Don't wait to be asked. And live honestly, speak honestly. That is the only way that we can manifest a healthy society. Establish yourself as a trustworthy human being. If you're not doing any of that work, you're definitely part of the problem. I know an awful lot don't want to hear that. But, yeah, we definitely have a part in this whole manifestation of evil. And we got to break that part. So, on that note, thank you for showing up. I hope to see you tomorrow. Stay safe. Make sure your awareness is hardwired. And on that note, good night and good luck. Ciao, guys.